Hello everyone, I am Pawan Mittal. I am working as a lead developer in Adobe in custom demo and PSU team, where we basically build demos using Adobe Experience Cloud solutions and latest technologies. So today in this training video, I will be covering the integration of Adobe Experience Manager version 6.4 and Adobe Target. So after completing this training, you will be able to create an experience targeting activity inside Adobe Experience Manager using audiences. Those are synced from Adobe Target, and you will be able to target AEM Site page and display the targeted content to the end users. And you can use target features which are enabled as a part of workflow integration. Okay. So this is the document that I am referring just to give a quick overview of how we are going to do this and how you can integrate AEM to Target. So there are different integrations options through which you can achieve the same personalization on AEM sites. So one of the option is to use a direct integration, which means use AEM cloud configurations, attach those to AEM sites and use Adobe Target account and configure that. And in this approach, you will be using the audiences, those are synced from Target in AEM. Once you will do a cloud configuration on AEM site, and you will be creating a content or experience and activities, all those things in AEM, but audiences you will be using from Adobe Target. Another approach is you have your site published, but you are creating an activity in Target. So from the Target, you will select the experience targeting activity type and you will refer to your AEM running instance public URL. Another approach is using tag management system. So either DTM or launch. So launch is the latest which Adobe recommends. So using that tag manager, you can also do Adobe AEM and Target integration. So in this video, I will be covering the approach 1, which is a direct integrations. In the future, I will be covering other options as well. Okay. So for this demo, I am running a locally author and both publish as well. So this is my publish environment which I am running in my local, and this is my author environment on port 4502 and 4503. So as the instruction says, you need to connect to your Adobe Target configurations. So this is the Adobe Target configuration that I have created for this training. You have to make sure while you configure these details, you need to specify the API type, and you have to also make sure you are having this checkbox checked, which will synchronize your segments from Adobe Target. Okay, that is we are going to use while creating an activity. Once you have done this, you need to connect it. Once you are connected, then all the audiences will be fetched from Target in your local AEM instance, and once everything is done successfully, you are able to connect to Target, then you can click OK. So I have already configured it. Okay, once you have done this cloud configurations, which just to tell you how you can do from the main menu, you can go to a tools icon where you can find an option to cloud services, and then go to legacy cloud services, which is to connect to Adobe Experience Cloud. There you can scroll and find Adobe Target, and you can add for many as you want for your environment. Okay. Now for this demo I will be using vdetail as a reference site. So this is my home page that I have targeted. So this is my local environment. You can go to the properties, go to the cloud configurations and select Adobe Target, and you need to just select the configuration that you created. So I created Adobe Target. Once you have configured your page with the cloud configuration, then you will get a targeting menu which you can click and you can select any brand. So for this demo I will be using vdetail. You can click and add an activity from here and make sure you select a target engine as Adobe Target. So whatever the activity name you will give, that will appear in your activity menu. So for this, I have created one, which is vdetail home page personalization activity. So I have just selected it. So I am going to target this hero image component on this vdetail home page. Once you click on start targeting, then you will see a screen where you can add different experiences based on for your different user segments or audiences. So you can select, so like for male. So if you see, there are sources that are specified in this audience menu, where few of them are from AEM and some of them are from Target. So this is synced when you have connected your cloud configuration successfully. So this is what I have used here for male and female, and authoring this, I have used these images. You can use the assets and just author them. So you can author into this dialog and change the image. Once this is done, you can go back and you need to just make sure that in the engine you just select Adobe Target and make these checkboxes also checked and just click OK. Once this is done, then you are good with your activity. You can click next. Now this is the same screen which you will get if you want to create from Target activity. So there are the other two audiences that I selected, and the other experiences will be showcased. Now click next, where you will see a priority, duration and goal matrices. For the time being, I have used engagement and action as page views. So once you click on save, it will take few whiles. So by the time it is saved, and as it says the message, your activity is saved and synchronized to Adobe Target. So this is my Target instance where you can see I am having an activity. So once you save it, and even for the time being you are not published, so you will see only one activity which will be suffixed with _author. Okay, so you can test with that. Once this is done, and if you think this is all good, then you can go to this menu and click on publish page. Once you publish this page, it will identify all the cloud configurations applied on this page and any of the content that you authored or changed or targeted. So once you do a publish, so it will do two things in the background. So it will publish the content on your publish environment. So you will see that you will have a page, a home page, which will be now targeted on publish environment as well. And you will see the activity will also, so the activity that we created, this will also be published to the publish environment. And on the same time, it will be also published to Target. So the same activity is now published from author to public environment. So it's the same activity now we will be using for author and publish, and we will be testing whether it is changing the experience, the content for male and female users or not. Okay, so once this is done, so I am using at.js. So this is the code which will call an mbox. So as you see, this is a default offer. So there is a marketing cloud debugger as well, which you can use for debugging if you are not seeing the content as expected. So you can debug those logs and network calls. So there are different solutions, those are showcased. So for this I can use Target, and this is my environment which I am using, which will showcase what are the requests sent from this browser, and I can more debug into it and click on enable logged target traces, which will, and then I can select the environment that I am using. Once you have this enabled, then on this environment you have target activity specified, so which is a mbox. So this is the mbox that is created for this activity around this hero image component. So as you can see that this is the target activity that we created and which is identified on this page, and you can expand it. It will explain that what is the experience which is resolved on this page. So for the time being it is default, and you can also check all the requests which are sent from this browser as well. So I will just go to the profile because I have targeted my hero image based on the gender. So my gender is, for the time being, it's default, means for the default experience. So I can go and use, for example, this is the at.js I am using. So this is the code which you can trigger. So I am doing it manually, but when I will basically showcase the other integration options using Adobe Launch, then in that case this code will be written in Adobe Launch rule. So you will, because the thing is, you have to specify that I need to see for a female related offer. So for that you can log in, and on that login you can make that call from your custom JS code. So just for demo, I'm making this call from Chrome console. So this is the parameter that I am passing, and this is the same mbox which is specified in this call, and which is the same as we have seen from the author. This is the same. Okay, once you have this, and you can just enter and refresh the page, and you see this is the offer that is changed for female. Suppose I want to now check for male, and refresh my page. This is for male, and this is what I have targeted here for male and female. So this is my publish on which I can see, and so for the time being I am doing it from console, but ideally it should be from your code, or if you want to get rid of all those manual code, then you can use Adobe Tag Manager, which is Adobe Launch. And just to get more info, and if you want to learn more on at.js events, and so this is the documentation which you can refer. You can search for track events if you want, which is, so this is the client web implementation where you can see at.js, and there are functions. Yeah, so there is a track event. So this is the same API that I'm using, where I'm passing an mbox and the parameters, which will resolving my segment, and within that segment it makes a call to target and get the experience and displays and replace the offer with the matching segment. Okay guys, so thank you. This is all from my side for this demo, for this video. And so we were able to create an activity in AEM, and using the audiences those are synced from target, we are able to target the page, and we are able to display the targeted content for male and female, and we are able to use the same workflow that we use those features in Adobe Target. Thanks guys, and please do share your feedback, and let me know if you have any issues.